Can you imagine looking at your family and not knowing who they are? Or being at a friend's house and suddenly forgetting where you are? My grandmother undergoes this experience every day, 1,614 miles away. My name is Alexa Brennan, and most of my friends know that I'm half Mexican and half Puerto Rican. My father was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and when we go and visit, we stay with my grandmother. She has dementia. Mami Pudding, as my sister and I call her, is losing her memory, but with a sense of humor. Like when she laughs when she's getting ready to go to Mass and it's Monday, or when she asks to eat even though we just had dinner. I found that in situations like these, you have to be like my Mami Pudding and find the humor. It makes it bearable. Like when we all pile into the car and my grandma asks us 10 times where we're going, my sister and I always tell her, we're driving to China. Or if we're having dinner and she turns to me and asks, ¿Vamos a parrandear al viejo San Juan? Meaning, are we gonna party in Old San Juan? I always tell her yes. Me and my 13-year-old cousins are very excited to hit up the best clubs in Puerto Rico. But there are times when humor can't save me. Every time I arrive in Puerto Rico and I see my Mami Pudding, I see tears automatically well in her eyes. She says they're tears of joy because she loves seeing me, but deep down, we all know they're tears of sadness because she knows she's forgetting who I am. At night, I can hear her call out for her mom, and my dad trying to calm her, telling her that her mom passed years ago. Sometimes she asks me where her husband is, and I have to tell her that he passed over a decade ago. This upsets her. She tells me that I'm lying, and other times she just goes silent. Humor can't help at times like this. My dad says the one thing my grandmother will never forget is the feeling of being loved. He knows because he has done this before. My grandfather had Alzheimer's. It got to the point where he couldn't recognize my dad, his own son. However, my dad has kept it together for all of us. He is my rock. Through all of this, I've learned that when you know you are losing something, you try and hold on to it for as long as possible. Thus, I savor the moments when my grandmother isn't asking me where we are, the moments where we just talk and laugh, the moments where I get to know who she is. It is painful being here in New York, knowing that she's back in Puerto Rico, and the moments that I savor are dwindling. Now I know that when I go to Puerto Rico and I see my Mami Pudding, I have to hug her extra long and extra hard. Thank you.